So this is very interesting. A post was made on Cinder's actual subreddit, and this is someone coming to the defense of her. And you know what? I haven't really seen anybody who's done that. I'm a guy where I like to consume every single side of media, whether it's left-leaning, right-leaning, centralist, and full disclosure, if you care about how I am politically, I'm much more centralist. I'm slightly left-leaning, but I'm more so centralist. That's pretty much it. A lot of people think I'm alt-right, but that's because the far left is so fucking far left, it makes anybody in the middle seem like they're alt-right. That's what's crazy. Anyways, I don't really care who you voted for. I don't really care your political views, but I'm just saying, consuming media from just one side will always lead you to turmoil and disaster. So I like to see everybody's perspective, and today we have another person's perspective. In Defense of Sinder, let's see what's going on here. Gonna be real, in Defense of Sinder, yeah, I know. I'm not a Sinder fan. I'm not a pyro pup. I'm an outsider looking in. Oh, this makes it a little bit better, actually. Whether that makes my opinion more or less valuable, that's up to you. In my opinion, I consider that more valuable. But I've said a lot of different opinions on the matter. I've let my thoughts brew, and even if it kind of goes up against things I said earlier, this is the conclusion I've come to. Now, this is great because this isn't a hardcore, diehard fan that's going to be delusional and defend everything. But the important thing is that I'm hoping to maybe make this make sense to this person, because I don't think they will understand the content creation world. I haven't read this. I haven't pre-read this. So I'm actually quite willing to hear them out. And yes, I'm certain these thoughts have come to the end. In fact, go against things I've posted earlier about this. That's just the nature of actually letting your thoughts collect and calming down emotionally and looking at it from a less emotional perspective. I'm a big advocate of a hypocrite as a person in the process of change. So I don't really mind when people flip-flop their opinions, as long as I think it's organic and not for, clout. So let's get started. Why does Cinder need to apologize even harder? What accountability does she need to take here? Her public statement is that she was not aware of Red's actions, specifically in attempting to shut out other VTubers and effectively keep Nano exclusive from them. She wanted Nano to be exclusive to her, but was not aware of how far Red was taking things, or that he was actively trying to sabotage other VTubers with the exclusivity deal. People seem to have simply decided that she is lying. What's this decision based off of? I haven't seen anything to support it so far. This guy, I can tell, isn't like, comment, and subscribe to the Tectone channel, who's covered this a multitude of times. There have been many screenshots as well as group DMs leaked, showing that Cinder was fully aware of everything going on behind the scenes in mass. I mean, I don't think there was like one screenshot, there was like 8. So yeah, I can understand why this person might not understand it because they haven't seen that. However, this person's ignorance is not anybody else's responsibility. And just because this guy didn't see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Everybody seems to have just decided, fuck Cinder, and there's nothing actually to support the idea that she's lying. It's literally because we said so. No, it's because of the screenshots. I hope this helps. Also, I want to make this very clear. Nobody was on, well, not that many people were on the fuck Cinder train until her response came out. A lot of people were very fair, and they said, okay, well, we're going to see how she responds. And I'll be real, the response was kind of stinky. And you probably didn't see that either. I've read through every single document, which as of now has been 13 documents, 40 different Twitter posts, 2 YouTube videos. I've watched them all, brother. And I assure you, the more you get informed, the worse the situation becomes, unfortunately. The only piece of evidence being used as yes, Cinder was involved in everything Red did is because people who claim to know her say that her and Red worked closely together on everything, so there's no way she didn't know. Because when Nano and Cinder about a few lines snipped from the text, Cinder tried to explain what she figured he meant and confirmed she was aware that Red was talking with Nano about being exclusive. I'm going to address these individually. For the first point, this is just ridiculous at best. I'm sorry, but there's no way these people know Cinder and Red so insanely well they can claim to know what they do or don't do with each other. These people aren't just associates. These are people who would frequently hang out in real life, would frequently go to events together, parties together, plan collabs together. These are their closest personal friends, and this isn't just one bitter friend, or because I'll be real, everybody here knows the damage that one bitter ex can do. This is like 16, 20 people who have all had the same experience. It's not really a good look, right? And these aren't acquaintances. These are like close personal friends. To me, it looks like delusion of a perfect world. We will never lie or hide things from each other. The idea that he's her manager and boyfriend, of course she knew what she was doing. This sounds like a couple of people who are single and never been in a relationship, let alone a relationship that ended poorly. Well, a lot of the girls who weighed in are actually, well, you know what? Well, guys, get this. Some VTubers have boyfriends. So I promise you this isn't coming from a incel take from a delusional perspective of the world. It's just not like that whatsoever. People lie to each other all the time. And yes, that goes for couples all the well. Is it really so hard to believe that Red, knowing the people he's trying to sabotage for the sake of Cinder's career, at least in his delusional mind, are Cinder's friends? Do you think he would not, kind of leave those details out when reporting back to Cinder? Well, the other thing is, giving credit to Cinder, she admitted that she did exactly this with Silvervale, which was the only one that had hard proof against her, to where she had to admit that she fucked over Silvervale premeditatedly, right? So I promise you, if she was trying to get away with it with one person, she was trying to get away with it with a lot of people. Hate to burst your bubble. Of course, you wouldn't be like, I spoke with Nana about becoming exclusive with us. Oh, and I told her she should cut all ties with her friends too. No shit, he'd not tell her that. But the idea of this guy being this cutthroat, business-focused guy who will do anything he can to try to get Cinder more recognition, more fame, more success, and as her boyfriend, that means a success too. They live together, they share a life together, and more money is more money for the both of them. Well, the other term that you need to understand is a legal term by the name of gross negligence. And when somebody is that unaware of everything going on behind them and around them, a certain amount of responsibility is going to land on Cinder's lap. Like, Nano just said she was busy, but now all of a sudden she's not busy? I wonder why that is. And there was in no point any screenshot of Nano saying, don't tell Cinder we're doing this. Don't tell Cinder we're doing this. And I promise you, people talk. So this is a very giving her the biggest benefit of the doubt I've ever seen. But once again, just because you didn't get informed doesn't mean that your version of reality is right. Now on to the second point. I really don't understand why Cinder is confirming she was aware Red has been talking with Nana about her becoming exclusive. Somehow magically and automatically confirms that without a doubt that Cinder is therefore aware of everything Red says to Nano and every single thing she does. That's not how this works. I just cannot comprehend. Well, also, it also doesn't mean the inverse, right? And that's the perspective that you're not acknowledging. Just because it doesn't confirm without a doubt that they know everything, it also doesn't confirm that they know nothing, right? But the problem is that this guy's leaning into extremes rather than living in reality. And that's the problem. I just cannot comprehend, aside from emotions are running rampant W, and people are on a witch hunt, why exactly people would come to the conclusion that her confirming she is aware Red is trying to work out a deal with Nano somehow translated to her being aware of every single detail of all of it. Yes, the things Cinder and Nano said to Nano were not great, manipulative, guilt-trippy and all that, but I mean, she admitted that and apologized for it. Well, no. She said, my actions were fine, and I just got tricked and bamboozled by my partner. This isn't some young girl. This isn't some young teenager. This is a near 30-year-old woman. Like, come on, guys. Let's stop treating these people like they're fucking children. Okay, let's all grow up here, man. What people are demanding is that Cinder take full responsibility. Basically say, I'm a piece of shit. I did all these things, but why would she if she didn't? I'm not saying that whether she did or not. I personally believe she deserves at least some faith, but why would she quite literally be bullied into admitting things about herself that aren't true? Well, because that's not happening. There's been many group chats that were leaked where everything that was happening, she knew about behind the scenes. If these people big concern is, I thought we were friends, then why is their immediate response with absolutely no consideration or seemingly any logical reasoning to simply say, nope, you're lying, when Cinder says she had no idea of what Red was doing and that she would have never let it happen if she knew? If they are such close friends, they feel so betrayed by this, shouldn't they, want to believe their friend? This is a mindset adopted by the easily manipulated. Well, if you truly love them, wouldn't you believe everything they said, even though you have all this evidence going against exactly that? This guy is someone who's going to be easily used and manipulated. This is a guy who probably thinks that he's dating the VTubers that he's watching. This is fucking embarrassing. Call me a tinfoil hat psycho, but all this feels a little bit too much of an instant stab of the finger to turn on her. None of them are willing to hear her out. None of them even want to believe her, yet they're all crying, but we were friends. Yet it seems like they made their decision about Cinder before she even put the response out. That's cap. That's cap. Like, just look at Bal's response as an example. Why the hell would it matter if Cinder was talking to them about these things around the same time Brett and Nano can't cancel on Bal? Like, what does it have to do with anything? Bal literally showed screenshots of Redacted getting Nano to cancel on Bal and said, how could you be messaging me during this time? Doesn't that being an issue assume that Cinder was aware of what was going on? Let me put it this way. If I message a friend and they ask, hey, I had a pretty good day, how was yours? And they respond, someone killed my dog. And they go, They asked how my day was, right? After my dog was killed, they must be the one who killed my dog. Do you think this guy Red anything that he wrote out after he wrote it? Or do you think this guy stopped taking his medication for maybe 3-4 days and just schizoed the fuck out on Reddit? It's very not hard to understand. Bao wanted an outfit. She had the outfit planned. She talked about how excited she was in person and on text, and Cinder was responding to that the entire time, showing support, when in reality, Red and Cinder were the exact people to cancel it. And that is what is fucked up. I'm sorry, but if you look at this as an actual reasonable person, this doesn't make any sense to be upset about. Literally nobody here's in the wrong but Red, and yet all the hate is going directly to Cinder based on the assumptions that she knew, which people were self-confirming to be true off of literally nothing. There are multiple screenshots. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe you can all tell me how wrong I am in defending a terrible person or whatever, but literally none of these mistakes make sense to me why we're basing whether she's lying or not on he said, she said, and proof that she knew, which literally proves nothing. There's also a screenshot saying she knows everything that Cinder said behind the scenes. And everyone responded to all this. This doesn't feel like I found out on this yesterday. It feels like everyone involved in this was so incredibly ready to start throwing extreme hate towards her, no matter what she had to say. You can check my videos, and why don't I just go ahead and disprove that right now? Chat, should we disprove that right now? Let's go ahead and pull this up. Here's the intro to my video. So, ladies and gentlemen, seems we have a major controversy in the VTubing space. And the reason why I really wanted to throw my hat into the ring is because everybody who's currently involved in this drama, this debacle, I have had personal and professional experience with every single one. I would say the VTubing space is really one of the more interesting ones because from a viewer perspective, it always seems like things are fine and dandy, but the more you peel back and you go underneath the surface, you realize how truly fucked up VTubing is. Oh, yeah. Where everything in front of you is more so a show put on rather than actuality. VTubing is a space where if someone has drama, every single other VTuber will be so quick to cut connections, throw you underneath a fucking bus, burn a bridge, and call it a fucking day. Yep. Without even asking you for your side. Yep. I've seen a lot of people get wronged in the VTubing industry, as well as myself. 2 VTubers put a hate campaign behind the scenes on me, and I'll be real, and I mean this with no exaggeration whatsoever. There was one VTuber who reached out to me. Yep. One. A singular one to get my side, which I feel like is fucking ridiculous. But at the end of the day, business is business. And I understand that a lot of people... Oh, I need to correct that because that's misinformation. I really tried to black out how horrible that section of my life was. It wasn't 1, it was actually 5. And I feel horrible for not remembering that. But I was going through DMs and I actually saw a multitude of my close friends do that. And I want to apologize for them for not remembering that. I was so f***ed up. I was so angry. I was so betrayed that I just kind of forgot about that. People are so quick to cut off anything that could cause them flack on their career. It's fucked up. It is what it is. I think VTubing is the hardest industry to make true friendships in because I promise you, the moment anything can negatively affect somebody's career, they're going to burn a bridge entirely quickly. So I wanted to see, is Cinder, and she might very well be a piece of shit. I'm just saying because I've wronged doesn't mean that somebody else is being wronged. True. Cinder might actually be a piece of shit, but I will say this. Out of all experience that I've had with Cinder, professionally and in person, been nothing but great. Yep. I think some of the best VTubers in the space that I've met so far, from what I know, are probably Aethel, Nanners, Shy Lily, Camilla, and honestly, Cinder was up there, to be completely honest. I think there's a lot of good people. Oh, also Buff Pup's also amazing. There's a lot of good people in the VTubing space, but it's very tricky, and I think a lot of misunderstandings can end someone's career. So before I do like one of these other VTubers where they immediately jump on the fucking witch hunt and immediately comment their stance before reading everything, this will be a 2-part video. I'm going to make that first and foremost. If you want to see the second part, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are going to read everybody's experience with Cinder, and then we're going to do a follow-up video once Cinder puts out her response. If that response is met with backlash, I will go over that, and that will be the end of this. I went into this with nothing but integrity, only wanting to report and explain and analyze the truth. There was, and to this guy's credit, there are a lot of VTubers who were a little aggro pretty quick, but they were right this time. They've been wrong before, and I'll be real, when Atsu put out his doc and he feigned a suicide note in an attempt to destroy my career, there were a lot of creators, and we don't need to bring up who they are because sometimes people make mistakes, but there were a lot of VTubers who put in support of that doc attempting to ruin my fucking life. And I don't hold it against them because I know how it goes. A lot of these girls are emotional and they do knee-jerk reaction to things they should have just took their time on. However, I have been waiting since frame one to make sure I explain every single side because I pride myself in being incredibly fair. So, no, this may have happened with some people. However, here at twitch.tv/Tectone, oh God, here at youtube.com/Tectone, we don't do that. Okay? I promise you, everything I've said has been nothing but fair. Things like Camilla basically posting death wishes to her, how everyone is immediately like, you need accountability like she did. You all just aren't willing to listen to her. By the way, never disrespect Camilla. She's one of the sweetest people in the entire space. And this just simply... Guys, am I missing something? I never saw this happen. I'm going to go to Camilla's Twitter profile right now. I've never seen that happen. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Am I missing something here? Heart. It's the beginning of the movie. Oh, what? A meme of Kill the Witch? Oh my God. Brother, it's a meme. It's a fucking meme of Burn the Witch. Jesus Christ. You're gonna take that as posting death wishes? Get a fucking grip. This guy's more of a clown than Camilla. Jesus Christ. If they were all such good friends as these over-the-top emotional, we went on stage together, we performed together, I trusted you post, keep making their relationships out to me, then all I can ask is, why is literally every single person involved in the media something that she's lying rather than wanting to give their supposed friend the benefit of the doubt? Because some of these girls can smell bullshit a mile away, and so can I. Hey, brother, hope this helps. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.